So I had this recorded conversation that made this event log, and immediately as that transpired, it wasn't too long. They got the bright idea to colonize one of the worst possible places to colonize for extraterrestrials, on the planet. So they came down. Apparently, the accumulating information is that they just wanted to have fun. They didn't really care about colonization. They landed in the most densely populated areas on the planet, big giant metropolitan city. But what I'm going to get into is just, so I discovered the base of our matter. The base of our matter is when highly energized, is bright white. So what this high energized non-porphyry matter it does, it spews off, after it gets to that density and level, it spews off teleportation forces that are bright yellow. All right, the bright yellow teleportation forces go into much easier region of the space fabric to travel in, and that's basically the structured space fabric. Planet Earth is pulling the ultralight non-porphyry matter down and creating an effect known as gravity. It's making pore spaces. It's cooling the planet down. So this teleportation force that is yellow decays into a region of space fabric that's basically like a vacuum of the planet, and it all turns green. So when you watch the extraterrestrial vehicle go down and you hear these sounds, it's a machine. It's a hard mass energizing machine trying to kick on. With the science fiction correlation information kind of coming in, they may call this a repulsor, but it's usually probably just a segmented and flat sheets of steel stuck together in a metal block, and the energy on one side is applied and exfoliates into the space fabric and creates a repulsing or levitating effect. And apparently these extraterrestrials may have been kind of intoxicated or just thrilling themselves to about the point of death. They landed exactly right there, or the safety system might have kicked on and saved them, but they were definitely extraterrestrials that I had a small conversation with and made an event log. And I'll reinstate that contrail, that meteor-like tail, that structure. So the base of our matter is highly transparent, structured, inert, non-porphyry matter. You energize it, it's bright white. When this high energy non-porphyry matter decays, it usually emits teleportation forces. They're predominantly bright yellow. Those teleportation forces are going faster than light and decaying into the voids of the space fabric, which are being affected by the planet Earth. So those teleportation forces are decaying in a region of space that is predominantly pulled on or vacuumed by planet Earth, and that's a blue region. So these forces ultimately combine and amalgamate, and they make a green flame or flash, or a green differentiation. Oh, I just watched like a freaking 8-point buck just go right in front of me. I just sit here in my 4-wheeler, and he just ran through, and I was looking for other people. Oh, he's big. He's big. He's got an orange coat, and he's got almost like 8 velvet antler, 8 points on his antlers. He's a pretty big buck. Couldn't believe it. I thought somebody else was coming. That was a big deer. I just seen that. I just stayed still. I didn't take a picture, but so this volcano incident has the same characteristics as the 2023 incident. So this might be the same group of extraterrestrials that got back out of atmosphere, back to their base, recovered from their comical or these extraterrestrials. There's got to be a mass of them somewhere, all right? And they're having fun. They're just doing it for fun. They come down, about crash. Each time they just do it for the thrill of it. They don't care. They're not like working on anything. So this UFO seen over the volcano. You have the ultra bright white non-polar matter coming out of the vehicle, emitting teleportation forces that are yellow, and then decaying into the regular space fabric as a green cloud or a flash. Then the highly energized non-polar matter, their pulsars, the levitators, take over, and the vehicle is saved, and they avoid they avoid death. That's literally what they're doing. So now a recent event transpired, not even 3 days ago. This OpenAI CEO, you know who he is. He's literally caught trying to tunnel into my main Rift base at Jupiter. Now we're getting so mad at the spy people that are controlling this spy access point. They have a spy access point, and they have multiple people behind like cardboard and doors trying to hide them from cameras, and they're literally stealing software off of my main Rift base at Jupiter. So this has happened a lot. And I think one of the members of his team is the guy that proliferated the invention software off of my computer. So he's leading them back to a spy access point, the OpenAI guy, and stealing more software off of Jupiter that automatically creates it for me. It's where all the AI are getting their software. It's from my main Rift base at Jupiter, 15 trillion times just thinking of every human on Earth. The CIA is spied on every human on Earth for almost 30 years, but to the trillion scale of subatomic particle. So I fought these so much that I contacted an extraterrestrial. This is the main event here. A group of aliens in space, all right? So I contacted this group of extraterrestrials, and they came into a proximity close to Earth. And now we know we have the high command. There's a high commander that is protecting planet Earth. He brought 4 ships that are multiple times the size of Earth to Earth's defense, all right? They freaked out like you couldn't imagine. But the aliens that came, the high commander, went up. I got them cooled down, and saying that they're trying to help me stop an AI being installed on the main Rift base at Jupiter. So I got them all cooled down, and they showed their weapons. But this high commander went through the door in his little ship. This door on the alien ship, which these are more sophisticated, they call humans primitive. Our entire planet is just a primitive ball of nothingness, pretty much, to them. So this high commander came out of it, but the door on this main vehicle that these aliens had is bigger than the sun. It is fucking incredible. He came out of there, he rolled out of there. It's big damn door. He came flying out of there after he met with these extraterrestrials. So this guy, there's a high commander. There is. And he brought 4 ships, multiple times the size of Earth, to Earth's defense. The biggest ships that he had. Y'all had them lined up in a perfect line. And this is why we're not getting invaded. Because they're doing stuff like this out there. They're extraterrestrial agents, human and alien peacemakers. Now the Fafnir is that small dragonet attack vehicle, and we think this is where we figured out that the flat sheets of steel are put in a box of flat sheets of metal. They're like little flat sheets of metal, and they all stick them together, and they push the energy through. So when this energy comes out carrying non-polar matter and forces to energize the non-polar matter, what is happening when we videotaped it? The energy is going into the forces of the space fabric that are just rolling through it and energizing to like one hard mass to another hard mass. It's not decaying into the weaker voids And so it's kind of like making a spider-like crystal, pokey crystal thing. And it kind of goes out there. There's an infinity of ways to densify the base world matter and energize it. And then they modulate all this to create super cloaked vehicles and stuff. The photon is really just forces rolling through the base world matter and ripping off a blob. They can control the forces creating the photon, and they control the photon itself because it's all non-polar matter essentially. The magnetic field mass is just thicker blobs of non-polar matter that are not real high energy. They just carry particles sometimes, and they can't go into the planet, and they make the magnetic field. They flow around. And we got a NASA study to look at this through a camera and track some of these particles, and you can see the magnetic field carrying this material around. NASA has done some work like that. We got them to do that, but it's not for the purposes that they're stated publicly. So we basically figured out how the magnetic field works. It's just through thicker blobs of non-polar matter. And that's how, once we start atomically engineering or machining to the atomic level pieces of metal, we can computer control a magnet. So that's high value stuff. And if you want to contribute to Robertson Price is going to, contract us out. We're going to do it right. We're going to have contracts. We're going to have thresholds to meet and standards to meet for public benefit and exposures to meet. And see, my problem is like this AI software is literally just being ripped out of my soup computer, and I have no control and I have no profit resource. I just have to spy on them, expose them, and put pressure on them. Where the entire industry say, "Hey, we're doing so." The entire industry knows that they can't make money off this. But if they came to me and gave me money, all right, and we got the correct arbitration, the correct legal agreement, if it's in writing, it's good. But if it's not in writing, it's illegal. There's no arbitration there. So all those events transpired in less than 3 days, except for the 2023 UFO event in that mountain. It's a while back, but it wasn't too long ago. But so basically, I think it's the same group of extraterrestrials. There's a mass of aliens out there, and they literally like to have fun. They like to play around with their stuff. They don't have no real work to do. As long as they got food, they don't really care. So they wanted to colonize planet Earth, and so this group of extraterrestrials, I was talking about colonizing other Earth-like worlds with other humans, right? And they heard that, and we're going to colonize Earth. And they came right down in Las Vegas, and they apparently got back up to where they were and came down a few years later. We're going to colonize by a volcano or something. It's the same group of aliens, guys. I'm pretty sure of it. There's not too many aliens that would be that reckless. They just want to get off. Now the coolest thing is that the Subatomic Revolution of Robertson Price, if you see that SRSP on a starship, that's what it means, or a operation, we're going to have to create like an extraterrestrial incursion embassy floating around Earth and bring the aliens in, try to keep them from cloaking themselves, teach them English, teach them the laws, and build extraterrestrial compounds where they can more easily integrate into society. But first, we have to build the miniaturized starship to accomplish that. And it's just been a nice, wonderful day out here. So we got to restructure human society with the exponential energy. So, like the Liberty motors, the Liberty engine, where these magnetic-driven turbines and stuff. I mean, we got hard mass particle reactors and exfoliated mass railguns to make, so we'll make exponential amounts of energy for the individual. But so we got to. So I'm like keeping the secret societies from just euthanizing all the people, inventing all these technologies and pushing it all forward. Because all the secret societies are defeated on 100% lethal base fabric plastic spy gear. and they're all done. They're all been defeated. They're all exposed, being monitored 24 hours a day. Why they should have had this shit 20 years ago, a couple decades ago. Should have been integrating it, but they just oppress people and oppress people and oppress people. Now, this is where you think of the oppression that they're giving to normal society. It's because of evil, but it's because they're really misunderstanding the economy. Elon Musk is said to be a trillionaire. Robert Stern Price is a multi-gillionaire. And they don't understand that how I made the technological revolution, I created more than one company at a time to create its own competition, to make a more level playing field. See, when you have a monopoly, they jack up the prices, and the equity, the flow of money stops. It kills its own self. So Robert Stern Price made multiple companies at a time and leveled out the playing field and allowed the equity, the flow of money, to come in at a greater, stronger rate. So basically the oppression that all these big businesses and billionaires are doing is a total investment in the economy. It's a recognition of basic economics. They do not know what they're actually doing. When you start to lower prices through competition, that means more people can buy. There's more flowing in goods and services. That means more wealth in the end. That means in a diversified portfolio or platform, you have a bigger footprint. And when they raise prices so extreme, and they have the oppression of the capitalist should only be to bring down the prices of his goods and services, And it's quite terrible to watch these crony capitalists just totally misunderstand their entire fucking industry year after year, day after day, after company, they just run it into the ground and kill it. So we're going to try to alleviate this danger of bad CEO corporate management, in the future human economies, and take my words in stride and run real hard before they try to kill you and I. But I mean, so who is Robert Stern Price? Robert Stern Price. Robert Stern Price cussed out the CIA and collapsed the Soviet Union, and got famous in the CIA community, or the spy community. He got started the World Wide Web and the internet. He's the man that got Bill Gates to make his company to make the componentized PC, and got the personal computer proliferated the world, and eventually supercomputers. I'm the person that cussed out Bill Gates and allowed him to steal $50 billion from me. I made the richest man on earth in that period of time. I allowed the people of the world to steal it and make both dot-com booms or bubbles, 94 and all that, this super boom that crashed, but the internet really wasn't high speed then. It was barely working. So I allowed Bill Gates over the time to take $50 billion, then $5 billion more, then a little bit more. And I couldn't believe over this amount of time, I was still controlling this man. I couldn't believe it. But I am the person who literally does own. I am the man who got Bill Gates to make Microsoft, all right? I am that person. They just missed the date on the actual historical time when he actually started making the company and making all that stuff. They got that wrong. They just did the date. But so Bill Gates wasn't doing what I wanted him to do, all right? And he started socializing people right after I cussed out the CIA and collapsed the Soviet Union. He was trying to socialize people to make a profit off of them online, all right? So I went and got somebody else, and I coined that company Apple, all right? I got that guy to fill out the paperwork to call the company Apple. I wanted him to put a worm in Apple, but they didn't do that. But I'm the man that got Apple started. I'm the man who got the guy to fill out the paperwork for Apple started, right? And I got that company started, and they were going along, and they tried to socialize people again, even more. I allowed Microsoft to supersede Apple for quite a while. I eventually got Apple to make the iPod, and I got the touch ring around there. I got them to make that. I wanted to touch this thing with my finger and change the songs around and stuff, which I never had an iPad. And I got the MP3, I got the CDs, the DVDs, the micro. It started out with the micro disk drive and a USB, and then I got the solid state drives, and the SD card went into the back of the Halo helmet, and I got that. I'm the person behind all that, and I'm the guy that got Alan the billionaire, right? He's a billionaire, and he is the person that really started the LEDs. I got him to make the LEDs, and I just forced the United States government to put LEDs in everything. And I'm the man that put light bulbs, that changed light bulbs over to better light bulbs, in which now they're mostly LEDs. But it took, and I'm the person who got flat screen TVs to be produced and made in this country and switched them over. Because we have so much technology to go through, I made this happen because they weren't really willing to invest in new future technology. All right. And entrepreneurism, our government is lame as a dead possum on the highway. It's just got to be rolled over and pushed out of the way. I had to push for this, and I'm the person that got all this done. So when I was going through school, I was at the school library, the high school, the Lakeland R3 High School, and I heard my internet was failing. So I got this guy that is named Jeff Bezos to make Amazon. All right, I'm that person. I'm the same person, but I got him to make that company, but I got him to do it. Basically, I just got him to do it. So I don't know if I know any of that. So I got all these companies started, and Jeff Bezos had a problem. Well, his wife learned that he possibly owed me money since I got him to start that company called Amazon. And he made it a big, gigantic company. His wife figured out, oh my God, some of your money belongs to Robert Sherman Price. Well, she divorced him. There's troubles like that go on in their lives. And so I had a spy network. I was on a spy network, and I got the CIA to make website around all this time. I got on a spy network. While I was on a spy network the whole time, and I got the CIA to help me make websites for the people, and they allowed these college people to spy on me, the greatest inventor on earth, man that put all the men and women combined to shame, the billionaire right now. If I had all my goddamn shit, got more shit made than you guys. And one of them was Mark Zuckerberg. I think he came later. So the first person who came out, I think, was MySpace or something. Then I think I had to send I might have had to send a spy or something to the guy that got YouTube created and tell him, you've got to create this for the public. And I am the person that did not allow pornography to be on YouTube. When I got Twitter made, I allowed pornography to be on Twitter. I own all of it, the entire technological revenue. But they literally stole Twitter, and people sued to get pornography removed off of Twitter. But I'm not allowing that to go forward until the property side of my ownership of Twitter, which is now bought by X, or Elon Musk that turned it to X, is rectified. So those orders are still in effect over this property that has been stolen and routed all around me, to try to move it. so all this happened, and I had to spy people and to get one guy, and that guy made PayPal, and he was very closely connected to Elon Musk. He sold PayPal to Elon Musk or something. Elon Musk sold that. So I was in the military this time, but during I am the person who got Elon Musk to build the Falcon 9, a rocket that go up and fly and self-land. All right, he did that. Now he's working on his super heavy Starship, and it's totally nothing that I would design. But because I'm a Starship dust, and I build real starships. So these guys, I've talked with all of them through and over 100% lethal Riptide Serpico Spider that they had no idea was in existence the whole time. So I tried to get Elon Musk to take his rocket engines and inject CO2 in the engines, all right, and get them to shut down. But then, they inject the regular fuel and they hammer. The CO2 or the gas, the inert gas, will shut that engine down and make it hammer like a bang, 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 like swinging a hammer. It'll make that engine hammer. But I also have prototypes on the drawing board for types of explosives that you can inject into a rocket engine and get the tonnage up to a possibly 1,000 tons. You're injecting straight explosive into a freaking burning rocket engine. This is a level of almost insanity that I was trying to get him to go to a while back, and to see if it ever comes out to do that. If they ever experiment with super tonnage rocket engines. But I'm the guy behind all pretty much space operations on the planet. I got a lot of foreign companies to put their own satellites in orbit and do their own thing. I'm the person that pushed for that. I gotta stop and think. All right. Last time I was trying to talk about the internet. So what the deal is about the internet? So I pawned the World Wide Web, the internet, off on the United States Congress, and it was able to achieve a national security infrastructure number. All right. The internet is the United States of America's national security infrastructure, if you want to say that. So, like Northrop Grumman, Boeing, all these, Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, all these companies build assets, but I got an infrastructure number. So I have like a category above all their junk that I get them to build, like a total top secret tier level above it. So when I start the subatomic revolution, sooner rather than later, I hope, it'll have a national security infrastructure of the United States of America number. And it goes beyond anything secret what they have. It's the actual national security infrastructure of the future of the United States of America, the exponential subatomic revolution, or Robert Stern Price, or the freedom of mankind, whatever you'd like to call. So I'm planning for that. And that's why the internet, and that's why my security level is freaking beyond anything. It's all constantly being degraded and destroyed and attacked, but that's basically the best clarification I get. Why is it like this? Because I got a title and ownership of the internet from the United States Congress, which Bill Gates and Harry Reid did not fill out correctly, and they tried to wipe it out from me, but I was the man getting all this done. I got the national security reference, the national security infrastructure reference that's greater than all the assets, all right, that any of these jet manufacturers could make. So I build national security infrastructure. I'm a national security infrastructure dude, all right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's basically where this number comes from. And they gave me the title. They gave me the codename Sierra 117. I got stealth technology made and Halo game and all that stuff. But so that's what I was trying to talk about, the internet. It has a national security infrastructure number. There's more people driving. It's an awesome day. So I'm probably gonna get out of here. I gotta chop together a video or something. I'll have to think of something else to talk about in a little bit. I have my memory shot, so what else? I gotta remember what I was gonna say about. Let me cut that out.